Hello, everyone. I just want to say hello. You guys, one of the best things about being a realtor is that we get to collaborate with realtors from all over the place. And I tell you guys that you are never alone. You are truly, truly never alone. So we have like a large base of agents all over the country. I'm partnering with one of my friends right now. I'm going to introduce you to shortly to let you know that we always got you covered. We figured we would just let you guys know about everything that's going on all over the place. But we're going to start with my friend Iris over in Washington, and she covers DC area and Maryland, but she'll give you some more information. So introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Samara. I'm really excited about this. As Samara stated, I'm licensed in Maryland and DC. I'm licensed in a few counties in Maryland. Some of the counties are Prince George's County, Charles County, Montgomery County, County, Baltimore, Anne Arundel. And I think that's about it. I think that's about it that I serve in the Maryland and DC area.
I like it. I like it. So she got y'all covered over there.
Yes, yes.
I do. I do. So it's similar to over here. So I'm licensed in like Jersey and New PA. You guys already know that.
hmm
But we
Right.
cover all of New Jersey. My focus where we're closest to is Monmouth and Ocean, New
hmm
Jersey. But we cover all of Jersey. So what population do you work with the most over there in that area?
Um, I'm starting to work now with more sellers. I work buyers, a lot of first-time home buyers when I first started the business. I've been in the business 18 years now.
Ah,
So,
I love it. Get off my own heart. We're like probably the same age in this working.
right. So basically, being in the business this long, um, some of my clients, most of my clients are from referrals or repeat clients, which I love.
Same. I love that.
Same.
Same. I love that. So very similar concept. So you already know that we do sellers and buyers. I work with a lot of
hmm
investors, which is a lot of fun. Um,
Right.
and in this market, sellers seem to keep coming up, especially since we've been in the market for so long. I feel like a lot of the referral-based business is people are
hmm
making those life transitions, which is
hmm
good. So I love that idea. Tell me some of the hot things that are happening over in your area.
Well, one thing about Maryland, we have the best crabs.
Ooh, I do like going there for
Yes.
that. I love it. I
So
love it.
if you haven't had crabs in Maryland, it's a must. It's really a must. But as on the real estate side, the market is still moving. It's still moving. There's still more sellers out, but buyers now are more intentional. They have more options and they're taking their time. They have to take their time because of inventory, but people are still buying and people are still selling.
That's right. Real estate's still doing its thing.
Yes.
Jersey over here on this neck of the woods, I'm gonna say real estate's always fun, right? No
It
matter
is.
what, it's like something new every day. But
Uh,
the cool thing about like Jersey, I guess even like segmented out, like some of the areas are moving a little
mhm,
bit better than others. Like we still
mhm.
have buyers that are, flocking to houses when they go on the market in certain like counties just because it's a very
Right.
popular area to be in. So we get lucky there.
Mhm.
I know the rates are scaring a lot of my buyers into, reclusion. They're just afraid to move, but a lot of them are getting more educated and realizing that, that motto of the, marry the house and date the rate. So those
Right.
key factors, right? Get them out of the woodworks. So I would say, like you said, every day I tell my guys, even though it seems like it's a little tough and a little crazy, that the houses are
Mhm.
selling every day. People
Right.
are still closing, things are still happening. So
Mhm.
I'd say it's one of the things not to be fully afraid of, right?
Right, right. And what people, you and I always get this question, when is the best time to buy or sell? The
Mhm.
best time is when you're ready to buy or sell,
That's facts. Yep.
Yeah, people are concerned about the interest rate, but when someone in need of buying or selling, they work around that.
Yeah. Yeah. I say that all
hmm
the time. So you're absolutely right. I echo that because it's the same thing. So I'm very big
hmm
on education, which is why we have partners like this, guys. We're very aligned. So when I throw out a referral in a network, I'm like, this is my girl. She's going to take care of you. Um,
Right.
Matching in years too these days. I'm knocking on 20 years of real estate. So you guys already know that. So like
Excellent,
you still learn
excellent.
something new every day, right?
Uh-huh. Yes,
So
yes.
those conversations is paramount. And I tell a lot of these guys, like, it is when you are ready, because it's not for everyone all the time. A lot of times I know
Right.
getting my first time home buyers because they're like, I'm tired of renting. That makes
hmm
sense. Let's look at your numbers. If you're not in a place to actually buy something yet, then let's figure out where you are. Um,
hmm
Otherwise, if you're ready, let's stop paying someone else's mortgage and pay your own. So,
Right. But you just said it. You actually kind of said it because when interest rates go up, guess what landlords do? They raise their rent. So
yeah,
you actually paying what your mortgage could be. So
yeah,
like you said, it's our job to educate, not just and we also will let you know if it's the right time for you to buy or sell, especially buying, you know. I mean both of them, buy and sell. So you might not be in that position too, but we will work with you to get you in that position too. So
yeah, yeah. That's what we do, right? So, like, even
yes.
I tell you that all the time. So, some people are like, "Oh, but it's not perfect." Well, how about the cool thing is it costs you nothing to have a conversation. And we've been in it so long being able to help educate our buyers and our sellers, take a look at their positions and say, like,
Hmm.
this is where we are, and give them
Right.
education to help them make informed decisions. Ultimately, their decision where they feel
Hmm.
comfortable, but I think the more they are empowered with the answers,
Hmm.
the market is really doing versus some of the crazy and chaos that we feel.
Right.
We see it like I mean,
Right.
and how it varies. And even
Yes.
those comps for our sellers, right? That's paramount. I have buyers, sellers that reached out to me like, I didn't know my house was worth this much. So those are
Um,
big things, right? Doing those CMAs for them.
yes.
And I'm sure both of us, anybody who's watching this that is in those areas at all, you can DM either one of us if you're interested and just say ready, right? That's it. Like we'll
Right.
be able to help you. We'll get you a CMA. We'll have the conversations and we'll, kind of vet that conversation. But
Right.
what are some tips you should tell some of the buyers in your area?
Well, with the buyers, first thing I say is, you know, after you speak with a lender, talk with a I mean, after you speak with a realtor, because sometimes buyers will reach straight out, will contact the realtor.
Yeah.
So it's very important to speak with a lender. I hear this all the time. I don't want to speak with a lender until I see a property I want to buy, but you might not be in a position when you see that property. Let's
Yeah.
get you rolling now. Let's have the lender, even if you're not ready today, just see where you are, just in case you have to work on something to improve your credit score. Just let's work on that ahead of time.
Yeah.
And you know, some of these programs requires a certain credit score, and if you're not at that credit score, let's try to work on that early.
Yeah. And I like that. So, guys, so one of the things that we talk about when we're doing the collaboration, right? So, I don't care what brokerage an agent's from. Like, in my mind,
Mhm.
everybody, there's more than enough business out there. I'm very big on collaboration,
Exactly.
education. Like,
Exactly.
let's help each other. Let's make sure we're giving the best referrals out there. And I love what you just said because one of the things that I do is that some people are quick to discard a buyer who's not there financially, right? As
Right.
opposed to helping them and coaching them to what needs to be done to get there, right? So, for
Right.
me, if you come to that initial meeting and we're not where you want to be yet to be able to buy a house, we're gonna sit there and
Mm-hmm.
talk about, like what the steps are to be able to
Mm-hmm.
get it for you so that when you're ready,
Yes.
you're all
Mm-hmm.
ready, right?
That's it. Right.
So
Right.
I love that part because you just said it, but that's one of the big things about making sure that your referral network is strong because they share the same mindset of the
Mm-hmm.
first aspect. And it's always the people first for us because we want you guys to succeed, right?
Right.
We don't want you to get approved for like 800,000, but your numbers show you really approved for 600,000 on paper, right? So let's make sure
Yes.
you stay in your house and have real conversations and help you hit all of your goals. So that's really key.
Right. Right. Because
So,
people are shocked because they think of like 10 years ago. Single family 10 years ago was what? 300, around 300,000. So when they looking like what? So
okay. You are not wrong because I actually had a seller circle back, right? So we were very close. Like we had their house on the market, I want to say almost 9 years ago. And
Mhm.
it was there right at the point where it almost made sense, but not made sense like they didn't get a certain number, right? They would have been under what
Right.
sold for under. So they didn't have to sell, but they were exploring the market at that point. And we look back at it like, okay, well, the numbers don't make sense. The offers that we're getting are a little bit under than where we need them to be, all
Right.
said and done with closing costs and all that stuff. So let's just pull it off the market, right? Fast forward 9 years, 200 grand more in actual appraised value, like
Mm.
that much. And the houses we were looking at were around 300,000, same kind of house. Now they're 700,000, same kind of house. So it's the market grows, the market. That's one of the best things you can invest in, guys, is real estate.
Right. And
Looking at the
Samara just, you just said it. 10 years ago, it was they grossed for over what 200,000. Look how much equity.
that much. That much equity. Where it's like we were struggling to get an offer for 305, and now it's like we're about to go
Damn.
like 570.
Exactly,
We'll
exactly.
probably get more than that. Let's see what happens.
Right, right. Right.
So yeah,
Let
no,
me ask you a question. What advice do you have for sellers in your area?
so the advice I have for sellers, one of the things I look for is also looking at their transitions in life also. So I'm very
Mm-hmm.
big on, like their why, right? So for me, it's like having a conversation, not like, oh, great, I got your listing. It's like, hey, all right, you're moving down south because you want to downsize, you want to be close to your family. Let's make sure you have the right referral base for your next step, right? Let's make sure
Mm-hmm.
all your ducks in a row. So I
Mm-hmm.
like to have the initial conversation with my sellers about like, what's your why and your motivation for moving? Because then we also know if we're actually gonna get to the closing table too. Because if there's an emotional attachment, sometimes like we're never going to leave, right? So
Right,
it's really
right.
having those clear conversations of understanding what the numbers are going to look like for them and what the
Mm-hmm.
phase is going to look like for them too. I don't want you to
Right.
get to the market and not have a plan for where you're going to go, right? Let's figure out if we're going to go
Exactly.
renting next, if we're going to do this next. So really it is that initial conversation of the why, but then a step further, once we get to like the actual prep work is like, okay, let's get your house ready, right?
Right,
Those are the
right,
fun
right.
talks. How about you?
Yeah.
What kind of information do you give to your sellers?
Actually, the same thing, because I mean, because when they selling, they have to purchase. So it's not just, okay, we're just going to put our property on the market. We have to connect them with a lender as well. If they're not doing a cash offer, they need financing. So that's the next step after I understand your why. So let's see if, if you're not doing cash offer, like I said, let's see what you qualify for. If you could purchase first or if you have to sell first. So
Right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. No, I love that. I absolutely love
yeah.
that. So it's like
And don't make no upgrades until you speak till a agent walk through.
that is key, right? So it's just like, oh, but I just put this gold chandelier inside here. Do we not think it's going to give me extra 50 grand? Well,
Exactly. Yes.
right. So it is always valuable to have that initial walkthrough with a real estate agent who is well versed in the market to be able to give
Mm-hmm.
you some ideas and suggestions. So like I'm very big on doing a walkthrough, and a lot of my
Mm-hmm.
sellers already know like I give them like a punch list. They have like a honey-do list that says like
Yes.
recommendations. And we're very realistic about it though. There's some things that are like bandwidth, we just can't do it because we don't have the money for it. So how do we accommodate? Do we price accommodate or do we make it look pretty and figure out the other ways around it? Um,
Right. Right.
I have a little bit of leg up. My husband's a builder, so I sometimes
Oh, yes.
builder about like some high level estimates and like, hey, how much would it cost to do? He's like, I don't work for you. I'm like, are you sure?
I know some people I booked like that too.
For sure. I love it.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, no, you're right. It's paramount to have that initial walkthrough too. And it's good
Mm-hmm.
that once you get that a listing and they've signed up with you and you guys are helping them navigate, they call it
Mm-hmm.
staging and it's kind of really broad. Like I wrote a book about just getting your house ready for the market. And the
Mm-hmm.
staging part of it is just not necessarily like putting in fake furniture. It's just making sure your house is decluttered, it looks clean, it looks nice, like making sure you streamline how you present. Because a lot of times
Right.
the picture they get is the one they see online. And
Mm-hmm.
and it's like getting them in the door, you want them to feel like they have that welcome, right?
Right. They feel like this is home because a lot of buyers don't have that vision to look past furniture or clutter. And so,
Meanwhile, me, I'm an investor. So I walk into a house that looks crazy. I'm like, this is beautiful. They're like, what are you looking at? I'm like, what it's gonna look like when I'm done with it.
right,
So,
right.
but
So,
you're right. People walk into it, they don't always have that vision, like what it could be. So being able to
mhm.
get that picture is really tough. So you have to kind of help them with that by
You
having
have to help them with as you walking through. Exactly.
best foot forward. Unless you have an investor, they like the ugly ones too. So that's what the
Yes.
uglier the better, right?
Right. Yep. 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 Yep.
So that is key. I love it. What are some suggestions that you have for your investors that you're working with? I think you had mentioned you have a couple things coming on the market. Throw some of those things out there too.
Yes, I have a condo that's going to come in Prince George's County, and I have another one in Baltimore County. And that one is right by a college, so that will be a great buy and hold. So I am looking for some investors. So
I like it. I like it. Throw it out there.
actually for both. In
So
the condo, it's in the area where a lot of renters are. So yeah, so they both should be hitting the market like next month. So I'm
yeah,
really
I'm gonna
excited for
tag her
that.
information in here, guys. So you guys are gonna see my girl Iris. You'll be able to reach out for my investors that are watching. I have a couple
Yeah.
investors in the DC, Baltimore area, so I'll let them know to make
Hmm.
sure they check it out when it comes to the market, or even before then.
Right.
So we do a lot of stuff on this side. My husband's into doing some of the trailer flips. We got some of those going on, uh,
Hmm.
which is a lot of fun. And then I have some new investors that are coming to talk to me about strategy. Probably do
Okay.
a course soon about helping them with that because it's like there's different strategies depending on how
Right.
it is. Like if you can get it at a low cost, you can definitely do the buy and flip. But in some
Hmm.
markets, if you can make it make sense, you want to do a buy and hold play, right? So we have
Right.
different
Right.
strategy sessions that we talk through with my investors. And then we have
Hmm.
different things that we're pulling off market. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, when you think about
Right.
different angles, and I love that we both cover all of them. So if anybody needs
Hmm.
that, whether you're a seller, a buyer, an investor. And I mean, like, we do a lot of transition of life
Hmm.
situations, right? So I do a lot of probate
Okay.
divorces. Not that, those are the funnest ones, but those ones actually handle and require care. And not
Great.
everybody has that. Especially
Hmm.
when it comes to like the probate situation, do people just like, okay, well, it's a number. It's not a number. It's somebody lost someone and we're trying to put things
Right.
together. Let's help them as much as we can. So we're kind of more hands-on on those situations too.
Hmm.
I partner with like good lawyers for that, and the same thing with divorce attorneys because those are
Hmm.
tough, and a lot of people I feel like they're facing those challenges now. So I'm here
Right.
that we already wear lots of hats as a realtor, right? The mediator role, the like keep everybody calm role,
Yes.
let's
Yeah.
not fight roles.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So it's always people first part. But is there anything that we should leave everybody with as far as information for your market that we should let them know?
Yes, well, here, like DC and Maryland are two different markets right now.
Okay.
DC market's a little slower than Maryland market. Properties are selling, but it's not it's moving as fast as it was a year ago. So we have more condos on the market now. But I am starting this is in DC, but
Okay.
I am starting to see condos moving a little, but not as fast as they used to be, but they are starting to move. And hopefully, as people return back to work,
Yeah.
hopefully DC is, start seeing it booming
Revitalize it again. They'll
again.
start picking it back up again. Yeah.
Yes,
People start
yes.
getting in their comfort zone. I mean, we've been allowed to work remote for so long. It's just like, we're comfortable.
Right,
I mean, I
right,
might have to
right.
get into more. I mean, we do a little bit of commercial here. I have to
Hmm.
get into more of that because a lot of those office buildings are getting repurposed, right? So
Uh-huh.
that's fun. We're keeping an eye on that as far as some of my investment moves too for portfolio building. Because
Hmm.
I look at these big buildings, like that's going to be a condo unit soon. Like there are
That's
offices at one point. They're going to turn into something. Yeah.
that's yeah, that's all of DC. Every
Yeah.
corner, condos or apartments.
Yep.
Every
There it
corner.
is. They're gonna repurpose them so that people can live, but we
Yes.
still have a housing shortage. So if we can kind of factor in some of the the homeless advantages options, that would be ideal too. So that's
Right,
awesome.
right. Well, this was awesome. One thing I want to say, like I said, if you come to Maryland and never had Maryland crabs, you have to try it.
You're not wrong. I gotta drive through there. So when I plays basketball, I gotta go to Virginia. I'm like,
Uh,
can I go in Maryland and make sure we get like some
get some crabs.
like they're good. But sometimes I'm like, their work. Like
They are. But that's the fun part about
it
it.
is. It is. My son was younger. He'll like crack them, but never eat them.
Right,
It's
right.
just like, be able to beat them up. So this was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. If you
Yes.
guys have any, my people, if you have any needs out in that location, right now I think we're on kind of a tour of working on, showcasing our network of other
Build
agents
our
in different
network.
states.
Mhm.
So I'll probably have some West Coast people on here soon too, just letting you guys know that, we collaborate and we can help you facilitate wherever you want to go, anywhere,
Right.
anytime. And if you guys are heading that direction, feel free to call my girl. Call me. I can give you some referrals for the area. And we kind of go from there. If you have anybody over in Jersey that's looking, well, Jersey and Pennsylvania. So Jersey and PA
Right. In
are
Pennsylvania.
licensed that.
Yes.
In
Yes.
Pennsylvania, I focus on the Pocono area in Philadelphia. Those are
Hmm.
my main criteria. But all of New Jersey, we got you covered.
Great, great. You my girl.
Give me a call. Well, thank you for your time today.
No,
Um,
thank you
we'll
as
be in touch talking
well.
about some of our other deals. But for everybody else, thank you guys for checking us out. I want you to introduce you to my friend, and hopefully we hear from you guys soon. And even if you just want to ask questions, this is what we do.
Yes.
All right.
Hmm. All
All
right.
right. Talk to you later.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.